sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I need to be on the right side of history.
Okay, so whenever I talk about Taylor Swift, I always end up annoying a fair few people. A lot of people actually leave. They're like, no, absolutely not. We're done here. I'm pretty sure I literally had someone say, you've pushed it too far, like, or you've gone too far now. And I was like, oh. So people don't like it when I talk about Taylor Swift, and people also don't like it when I speak about, free Palestine, help people in Palestine, oi, all eyes on Palestine kind of situation. So here I am combining two of those topics. So if you like this content, you like what I'm talking about, please remember to like it, because it'll help get to the right people who actually want to be hearing about this.
A lot of celebrities have been speaking out more on social media, but Taylor Swift has been noticeably silent. Taylor Swift fans, however, have not been silent, as Swifties for Palestine and Speak Now have been trending on Twitter.
Straight off the bat, do I think that Taylor Swift does a lot of good? No. I actually think that she is a fairly problematic celebrity who weaponizes her audience to basically attack anyone who disagrees with her. The Swiftie culture, I'm not saying all of them, because as we've now learned with the Swifties for Palestine movement that has been going on at her Eras tour, she's been coming over now to Europe, and people have been making bracelets, people have been banding together, they've had flags, they've had signs, basically saying Taylor Swift, make a stand.
Fans have even been bringing this to the Eras tour, as Taylor is currently touring in Europe. They've been making friendship bracelets for Palestine to pass out at the shows, making posters that say Swifties for Palestine. This one says, Taylor, take a stand, and this one reads, we demand swift action. One fan even brought a Palestine flag and hung it at the show, and fans are encouraging other fans that are going to upcoming Eras Tour shows to speak up and speak out.
Do I think that she could use her platform for better use rather than just using it to get more money out of her audience, like with all of the different vinyls and editions, and you need to buy this and buy that and sign up to this credit card so you can get this? Do I think that she weaponizes her audience against other people and then also milks them for all their worth? Yes, I do. Doesn't mean to say that you can't appreciate her music, but I'm never going to sit here and say that she is a top dollar celebrity who does a lot of good for other people, because I just don't feel like that is the case. Does that mean that I have some sort of vendetta against Taylor Swift and I want her career to burn to the ground? No, but I do feel like she picks and chooses what she will or will not speak about, such as what happened a couple of years ago where she basically said, I'm going to break my silence and I'm going to take the band-aid off my mouth, or whatever she said, and I'm now going to talk about it, and I really regret not.
Really good about not feeling muzzled anymore, and it was my own doing. I needed to learn a lot before I spoke to 200 million people, but I've educated myself now, and it's time to take the masking tape off of my mouth.
When she was talking about this, she was talking about politics. I think Donald Trump at that point was coming into office, or he was in the office. I don't live in America, very evidently, but I do, of course, know about the law that surrounds Donald Trump. But like most people do, we have our own issues over here, okay? This is not coming from a UK girly over here who's saying, hey, yeah, our politicians are brilliant, because trust and believe, we don't like any of ours either, okay? She decided to come out. She was talking about the LGBTQ+. She made that whole music video. I think it was to step on the ground, you need to go down. I can't remember I know what the song is. Can't remember what it's called. I'm not the biggest fan, but it was playing everywhere. And she debuted, her basically holding the LGBTQ people up, and then also taking a little stab at the politics that was going on. She talks a lot about feminism. I will say it's very white feminism that's been going on, coming from a white girl herself. It's very white feminism orientated. She will speak about things. She has spoken about things. But I can't help but notice that all the things she's spoken about have benefited her greatly. So her talking about feminism, and there's nothing the matter with these two things, by the way, at all. Obviously, rights for LGBTQ plus people, why would they not be given rights? Same for, feminism. I don't have an issue with any of these things, but she picks and chooses what she chooses to talk about. When she suddenly started talking about the LGBTQ plus community, That then drove in a lot of attention and a lot of money going her way. She actually benefited from talking about that rather than lost anyone. Likewise, she's talking about femininity and, you know, feminism, very white girl feminism, if I may say, which obviously her audience, I'm not saying all, but predominantly white females, okay? So all of these things very much greatly benefited her.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history.
So where we are today is we have the whole Swifties for Palestine movement, and this happened a week or so ago. But we have some updates in the fact that she actually kind of responded to it without responding at all. Now, straight off the bat, I uncovered this in my last video. I was talking about it. The reasoning why she probably won't speak out about it is because one of her biggest sponsors, if not her biggest one, Capital One, the credit card company, she is massively affiliated with them. In fact, you can't even get a lot of her latest things, or you had to sign up to do the Eras tour. You had to sign up to get this credit card if you wanted to be one of the first people, whatever was going on over there. They actually put a hell of a lot of money along with other banks into Israeli weaponry. So for her to turn around and say something that would go against like her biggest moneymaker, for her as a billionaire, an unethical billionaire, I will just say, she's not gonna do that. She is about the money. If we remember what I just said about her speaking up about the LGBTQ plus community, that in turn, by her being vocal, she got a hell of a lot more fan base. She also got, you know, she was able to make music videos and taught her to have discussions about it. She benefited from that. In the politics sphere and things like that, having equal rights, that also benefited her massively. You have to remember that those things directly affected her. You know, she's talking about her politics, which is all fair enough. You can talk about your own politics, whoever, whatever. What I'm trying to say is that was all benefiting her. Whereas with this, if she spoke out and she even did one singular post, one singular Instagram post, the amount of money and the amount of kudos that she would get would be overwhelming, but she would alienate some of her audience who do not believe in the Free Palestine movement, are Israeli supporters. That's going to be the thing, and I hate to break it to you, but that's one of the reasons why she's not saying anything, because she doesn't want to alienate her largest sponsor. And just to back that point up, so Ariana Grande had actually posted a week ago, literally just posted this. That's all she posted. The amount of money that they were able to raise through one simple post, and it's not just raising money, it's also awareness. It's letting and educating your fan base and then providing them ways that they can go and help. The amount of money that they were able to raise is astounding.
Ariana Grande is one of the latest celebrities to show her support for Palestine following the horrific Israeli massacres of Palestinian civilians in Rafah. Ariana Grande shared a donation link to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund to her stories. This was the first post Ariana had made in relation to the current atrocities taking place in Gaza. After celebrities like Jenna Ortega and Ariana shared the donation link to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, they made over $622,000 and counting, which goes to show the importance of celebrities with big platforms using their voice. The fundraiser itself was actually set up by Nicola Coughlan, who's been incredibly vocal about her support for Palestine during a crucial time in her career while promoting Bridgerton. You can also find the donation link in my bio. Please continue to keep your eyes, hearts, and minds on everything that is happening in Rafah.
Which is exactly the reasoning why people want Taylor Swift to speak out, because even though Ariana Grande is a very big artist, she's not like at this moment currently as big as Taylor Swift. The amount of money and amount of, support that Taylor Swift, just by posting one thing, could do would be incredible. Can we just all agree on that? They don't have to speak about things, but then I don't need to believe that they are a good person, because that is aligning yourself with things that I don't believe are good. Now, ironically, she did actually post something. So she allegedly, right, there's this amazing creator, put them up here, who I keep on saying, who has actually been calling Taylor Swift out. Like I say, there's not many people that will, because her fans will go crazy, and they go crazy at me. But you know what? I feel like if we're going to be talking about celebrities and internet culture, this is a really good person to be speaking about. But he was saying how Taylor Swift came back from one of one of her days in Europe, she went to one of her sets. Twitter was bombarded with people talking about Swifties for Palestine. It was everywhere. People were saying to her, please say something, please say something. Please say anything at all. Twitter on that particular day or two was just going rampant with it. And Taylor Swift had in fact been posting on Twitter on the days leading up, and on that one particular day she had been going around and she'd been saying, oh, thank you to wherever she was playing at, whatever country, wherever she was playing at, she'd make the acknowledgement and say, wow, thank you so much for having me. But she didn't do it on that particular day.
So Taylor Swift responded to the hashtag Swifties for Watermelon. Yeah, she did. And her response is exactly what you would expect from Taylor Swift. You want to know what she did? She bounced. She bounced. So, I heard this from multiple Swifties. Usually, Taylor Swift posts a picture. After each show, she posts a picture. She posts one picture on Instagram and another picture on Twitter. One on Instagram and another one on Twitter. Do you want to know what she did ever since the hashtag Swifties for Watermelon started trending? After her last show, she didn't post on Twitter. She still posted on Instagram, but she didn't post on Twitter. Funny thing about this is that there are actual Swifties on Twitter saying, yeah, she probably just forgot to post on Twitter. Yo, be for real. Be for real. Be for real. You are waiting for an answer. That's your answer. Taylor Swift is not one of us. And I can literally tell you with certitude that Taylor Swift is with the other side. Taylor Swift is with the police. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but she's not one of us.
I do agree with what this guy is saying when some Taylor Swift fans, and I will say some because it evidently isn't all, because as we're now seeing, quite a lot of them want her to say this. There's just no way that she just coincidentally forgot to post on Twitter. I don't think it's even her posting. I think it's her management. I would be extremely surprised to hear if it was her actually typing it out. Maybe someone said to her, hey, do you have any feedback that you want to share? And someone, her PR or whatever, was right there on the phone. I don't think she actually handles a lot of her socials. That's just my own opinion. I've got nothing to back it up, but a lot of celebrities don't actually handle their own Instagram and Twitter whatever posts. For her just to be too busy, no. It's definitely not just a coinky dink, okay? She intentionally did that.
I want to love glitter and also stand up for the double standards that exist in our society. I want to wear pink and tell you how I feel about politics.
Another thing as well, which is kind of what spurred me on to do this video in the very first place, people had been saying, is Lady Gaga pregnant? I think she was at her sister's wedding and had an unflattering angle. The fact that paparazzi literally stalked her all the way to her sister's wedding is bloody weird. But as well as that, Taylor Swift, not even that long ago, people were saying, oh, is she pregnant? Is she pregnant? Is she pregnant? And don't get me wrong, I don't feel like we should be commenting on women's bodies. I do agree with her, with what she's saying. However, she conveniently is talking about this, and don't you dare comment on women's bodies. I'll put it up here. Don't comment on women's bodies in response to Lady Gaga and then also herself. So she will talk about things that are directly bothering her. She has no issue talking about, women. We should uplift women, or women with women. What about the women that are all over the world right now? Not just standing alone to Palestine. We're talking about Sudan, Congo, Ukraine, loads of places. What about these women who have lost their children? All these little girls that have lost their mum, or women who literally have no form of sanitary stuff, they're literally having to use leaves and things, if that. What about those women? The only women that seem to matter are the people who live in more privileged areas. And I know that might sound really quite if she really was for all women, maybe she'd get herself involved in some of these women refugee organizations, of which there are actually quite a few. But she picks and she chooses who she decides to be with, depending on who makes her the most amount of money. That's just my own thoughts and feelings on Miss Taylor Swift. And like I say, I talk about Taylor Swift, I lose a lot of people, people don't like it, but unfortunately, separate the art from the artist a little bit. She has made it her mission to try and brand herself as this woman who, you can go around, bake cookies with her, she's going to share with you some poetry because she's this tortured poet that she had to keep bottled up inside. But hey, guess what? If you buy this new variant, you can have a piece of me. She has marketed herself so brilliantly, needs to be studied. I've always said this, but because of that clever marketing, she has a lot of people of all ages, that just seem to think that she can do no wrong, and you don't know her, you know the way that she's marketed. I think nowadays, and I'm hoping this, I'm not praying for her downfall, I just hope that we're able to have more of a nuanced conversation about Taylor Swift. I'm not saying that her career needs to crash and burn and that she needs to go out there and advocate for every single thing underneath the sun, because that's not going to be authentic, is it? And no one would expect that from her. All I want is for people to be able to realize this, or just try and listen to what people are saying, try and take it in without feeling like we are all attacking Taylor Swift, to be able to let that sink in enough for there to be a bit of a lull and for everyone to have an honest, nuanced, conversation. That's pretty much all people are wanting. They don't want Taylor Swift to necessarily go, but I feel that if you say anything negative about her, people interpret that as you don't care about feminism, you're not a girl's girl. I actually have had those comments, and that is not healthy. That's not a healthy approach. You can talk about if any of these other people were doing really similar things but they weren't Taylor Swift, those people would have no issue with you talking about it. But because it's Taylor Swift, all of a sudden you're anti-women, you're misogynistic, you're against the LGBTQ plus community, you're an evil, bitter person. And that's just not only is that just not true, it's not clever for anyone to say that. Anyway, I hope my point has got across. If you like this video or you just listened to it this far, can you please like it? Because whenever I talk about Taylor Swift, they don't always do so well. And then sometimes I get like a barrage of hate, and it's a bit like, I just want to be able to have an honest conversation about this. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves. I will catch up with you guys in the next video.